Greetings everybody and welcome back to the Austin Lindsay channel. So I got the idea a while ago to do a photo shoot with a wall of electronics behind the model. I wanted speakers, TVs, stereos, anything with like a 80s-ish style electronics vibe to it. And I originally wanted it to be TVs and stereos because I love the idea of the lights from the electronics appearing and illuminating the background. So I brought this up to my buddy Brian, who owns One World Media Productions. Brian also had a friend who ran a recording studio out of the same building and were pretty big in the 80s and 90s. So I knew they'd have a lot of cool 80s style electronics. So naturally my timing was perfect to bring this up right as they were moving out of their current building and they were packing everything up. So a lot of the items to build a massive speaker wall had been moved out already, but there was still a good amount of speakers and other items to build a really awesome background. So Nikki and I had been wanting to shoot for ages, and we had not yet found a concept in which her and I could collaborate until this. And I knew in my head that this was going to be amazing, and she really made it all come to life. Since the concept was 80s, I pulled a lot of, or basically all, my lighting inspiration from the promo photos from the Netflix series Glow. I really loved the deep color saturation and punchy edge lighting, and like all great artists, I decided to straight up copy it. So we did 3 outfits, and the lighting placement and modifiers stayed pretty much the same throughout. I just changed up the color gels on the side lights and the backlight to complement the outfit and to separate the look a bit, since this is all shot on the same set. So let's start with our backlight. It's an 80-200 Pro with a round head. The Fresnel head would work just great too, but having the round head with the diffuser dome, it allowed the light to spread out more, similar to what the bare bulb would have done, but the round head has the added benefit of being able to be gelled. We tried to give ourselves as much room behind the speakers so that the light could spread out more, but there's only so much space in front, so we had to work with what we had. Moving on from the backlight, we have our side lights, and these are also AD200 Pros. These have the Fresnel head along with gels on them. These lights are placed off to the side of the model. Ideally, I would like to have had a set of edge lights behind her to get that thin sliver of light on the edge of her body, and then have used another set to light up the speakers in specific areas, but I didn't have that many lights or time, so I had these do double duty, and I moved them a little bit forward so that some of their light would spill back onto the speakers. Then I placed the hair light. This is an AD400 Pro. This has a 10 by 36 inch double diffuse strip box. I had it rotated sideways for number 1 to get a little more even spread, and number 2 for it to fit in that small gap. Ideally, I would like to have had it centered, but that would require putting it through the chains of the hanging speaker, and that was just more effort than it was worth. And in the end, this looked great anyway. So there's a lot of compromise when it comes to photo shoots. And finally, we have the key light. This is another AD400 Pro. This has a nice photo 35-inch double diffused round softbox, and I also have the grid on it. And as you'll see, I do move my key light around a bit, but I kept the key light mostly to camera right because I also wanted to play off that hair light that was situated opposite on camera left. I really wanted to thank Nikki and Brian for letting me come use their studio. If you guys do have any questions, please leave them in the comments field. I'll do my best to answer them. And thanks everyone for watching.